Welcome back, everybody, to Who's Your Band. We took, I think, a week off. Did we take a week off?
We took a week off.
We did take a week off. So, okay, we're excited to be back here. That voice you heard is my beautiful co-host, Sean Morton.
How are you, Jeffrey? I am wonderful today.
You got two dogs, okay? So
no, one, just one. Just one.
You got one. Okay, that's a smarter move. We'll talk about the dogs at another time, but let's get right into it with our guests. I was excited about bringing up both these people because they're both hardworking, interesting people. We have joining us. She still is a model. She is an actress. She's an author. She wrote a book, okay, which I partially read. Yes, but I partially read one, okay. That is Bobbie Brown, okay, Bobbie Brown, and also a comedian, a producer, a model, a magazine mogul. Give it up for Natalie Cuomo.
Hi, thanks for having me.
The only Cuomo that is allowed on this podcast.
Congratulations. That's the 100th time you heard that hack joke. But
right?
Yes, but let's start with Bobbie. Bobbie, you grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You're there now, okay?
I am.
Okay, so what was it like for you growing up in Baton Rouge? Where you were a girl, I guess, who had like a lot of dreams of going to Hollywood. The whole cliche thing of like a Rock of Ages. But explain a little bit your growing up.
I guess I kind of had a stage mom, and my only gift was my appearance. Apparently, I don't know. She used to hang me from the ceiling to be taller and get my teeth bleached, and I just rebelled and was super boyish. Like I would.
Were you a tomboy?
I was, and I would she would put 300 sponge rollers in my hair at night, and I would go to school with a wet comb and ugly it out, for school day. I was super rebellious. But I did when I was Miss Teen Louisiana, and I said I wanted to be a model. So then I moved to LA when I graduated high school. And I guess the rest is history in a way.
Well, let's talk about that history. Okay.
Okay.
Because to this day, I'm still a little pissed off about something, Bobbie. All right.
What are you mad about?
I'm going to tell you what I'm mad about. Okay. You go on Star Search. Okay. Mm-hmm. You win a record. I think it was 12 or 13 times. 13 and then times. You lose in the finals to Debbie James. Okay. Who isn't bad, but how did that happen? Was the fixing a little bit? I mean, and in your book, you kind of allude to it, for you said that was shocking.
So when you fuck 3 of the judges, I guess that kind of has or when you give blowies to Ed McMahon. I don't fucking know, but I do know that he went to say my name, and I stood there is he fucking saying my name? And then he said Debbie James, and then I stood there for a second what the hell, because they literally had to find somebody that had won the most times just to compete against me, because nobody in the history of that show had ever won as many times as I had. And she had won 3 times. So they brought her back, and then she won, which was what? So
was there any explanation given to you?
There was an after party where there were lots of chumminess going on with some of the judges. And I just went, did she fuck them all? Or I just didn't know. But the reality was, even though I didn't win the $100,000, the reruns and the fact that I was on that show more than anybody had ever been on that show, I got so much work. But it was pretty devastating. I was pretty shocked. I was not expecting her 3 wins to come in and beat my 13 for sure. And the $100,000 would have been great, right?
Yeah. So I thought the interesting thing that you said in the book was that you felt embarrassed. And
I was.
I don't, I guess I can't relate to that, because listen, you're a 10, I'm a 0.3. Okay. So, it's like you lost, but I guess at the time, I guess you were just like completely in shock from it, but you didn't see that maybe like this could lead to other things. Like your name was out there, you made a name for yourself. You came from Louisiana and you got exposure. 13 weeks you're on this Star Search. But I guess in the middle, you thought it was going to be a major career setback, is what you said.
I really did. I just thought like I'm a fucking loser. You know what I mean? But the reality was I wasn't a loser. And you know how I look at it now, like what is it, like American Idol, whenever those guys win, nothing happens, but like the runners up get like these massive careers. I feel like
Adam Lambert.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
who did Adam? Like who beat out Adam Lambert? Nobody knows. Everybody knows Adam Lambert.
I think it was Clay. I think it was Clay Aiken.
Yeah.
Like, no, Clay Aiken didn't win.
Where is he?
He lost to Ruben Studdard.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of in the moment felt really shitty, but the repercussions just kept coming in a good way. So like, where's Debbie James? Whatever happened to her? Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll tell you one thing, she ain't coming on this show.
Yeah, well, like, where is she? But I mean, it's okay. I mean, maybe she's happy somewhere, but like, really, where'd she go? So I don't know.
Did she say anything to you after?
Fuck no. No. She was just like,
so embarrassing.
Peace out, bitch.
That's so embarrassing for her. Yeah.
Hey,
so then
I did well after. I can't complain. Oh no, where'd you go?
Oh, we just
there you are.
Okay, we got your back. Okay, so then you're out in LA, and now how did you start to get involved in the whole Sunset Strip rock scene? Okay.
Well, so the Star Search thing was on, and then I guess MTV was so huge back then, and that's when Janie and Tommy saw me and was like, "Hey, I want to get her for my video." And so being in music videos was a thing.
What was the first video you shot?
My very first video was, it was for Hurricane. I'm On to You. This is like pre-boo job. I'd only been there like 3 months. And so I did this video, I'm On to You, Hurricane. It was a one-hit wonder. Then I did Great White. I did the cover of their album, and then I did a couple of their videos. And then they called me for Cherry Pie.
And that changed everything.
Yeah, I didn't even go to the interview. I was like, yeah, fuck that guy, whatever. I was hungover. I don't even know. And then they called and they said she didn't show up. I'm like, oh shit, I guess I show. So then I went and I walked in and they were like, yeah, we want you. And I did it. And then that really changed everything. It was like #1 for a year straight. I was in the video more than the band members were. It was crazy. So that was the beginning of the whole Cherry Pie Girl thing.
One of my personal favorite videos, by the way. Wink, wink. Yeah.
Was what?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that imagery, Sean. But that also kind of caused a rift in your personal life, right? Because at the time you were dating Matthew Nelson from Nelson After the Rain. Sean, remember that song? After the Rain?
Dude, let me tell you, this whole era of music that we're talking about today is my absolute favorite era, without question. From 87 to like 92 is by far the greatest era of music ever put out.
So good, right? And you know what's weird? I hear Boston songs and I feel like Janie was so inspired by that group, because I hear his voice and the singer of Boston so much.
Oh,
don't you? Like, you hear that and you go, oh my God, he was inspired by him, obviously, because I hear him. I think about him every day. Obviously, we have a child together, but I mean, he was very incredibly talented. He was so underrated for his gifts.
I'm so glad you said that, because, we interviewed an old singer named Billy Vera about 4 or 5 months ago. He did that song At This Moment from Family Ties. Okay. And the one thing that I got out of the interview is when he said, your favorite music is the music that you listened to when you were 13 years old. Yeah. And that stuck with me so much, because I'm from New Jersey. Jeff's from New York. So growing up for me, we're in Bon Jovi territory over here.
Right.
So I was always open to the Bon Jovi, Skid Row, Warrant, Poison, all that stuff. And for me, Warrant always stuck out as one of my favorite bands growing up.
Uncle Tom's Cabin, one of the most underrated metal songs.
I'm going to tell you a story about Uncle Tom's Cabin in a second after I get my.
I want to get to you, Natalie. So hang in there. Okay.
One of my best friends, was a gigantic Warrant fan as well. And we have always said that Janie was the most underrated songwriter of that generation.
Amazing. Yeah. He literally
a lot of
go
people
to the bathroom and come out with a song.
A lot of people, think it's all cheese and fluff and stuff like that. And then some parts of that era were, but his songwriting,
there were a lot. The look overshadowed how good at musicians and songwriters a lot of these guys were.
And their first two albums were just killer. The first two albums were just killer, and I loved Dog Eat Dog just as much as I did.
Was like his "I'm Mad at You for Leaving Me" album.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the reality of his ballads and his songwriting, like Cherry Pie, was a demand from Sony and Columbia at the last second. They were like, "We need a Love in an Elevator. I need you to write something, cliche." Cherry Pie wasn't even on the album when he submitted it. And then Donnie Einer, I remember this, said, "We need a Love in an Elevator." He went to the bathroom and wrote Cherry Pie on the top of a Pizza Hut box. Wow. And came out, gave it to him. And then he's like, everything became Cherry Pie. Like everything was Cherry Pie.
Well, you had a lot to do with that too, between the mixture. Right, between the mixture of MTV and what a catchy song it was the perfect storm of everything kind of coming together and really catapulting the band.
Yeah, but what bummed him out was he was such a really good songwriter that Cherry Pie was his least effort, and he became the Cherry Pie guy. So in many years, he would always say, "I wish I would have never written that fucking song because I'll be forever known as the Cherry Pie guy," because he was so much more than that. You know what I mean?
Did that lead to some of his issues, some of his problems?
No. I said it in my second book, and I'll say it now. It's a very sensitive subject. But let's just say that the record industry is a lot more sinister than we all would ever like to believe and agree to. Janie was raped as a grown man against his will, and by a very famous singer of a very famous rock band while being held down. Okay. He told me this when we had been divorced for many years, but we remained friends, and he was punching the car window of my car crying. And that was the first time I knew him. Like I never knew these things when we were married. He never told me these things. But these are the kinds of things that happen when you're in the industry. You kind of have to sell your soul. You kind of have to do whatever you have to do. Not implicating anyone. I'm never going to say who, even though I know. But it literally, as a man, as a straight man, affected him in ways that I can't even say, and kills me to this day, breaks my heart to this day. I said, we have to do something. He said the humiliation alone was too much to bear. Creepily, the person that did this had someone reach out to me when I wrote my second book, acting like that they were like just curious or whatever, and like, was I planning to go public with this information? And I was like, fuck no, that's didn't happen to me. I'm never gonna say who. That's his secret, but it is what destroyed him internally on a daily basis, and just made him, it's just devastating. And it's being raped, essentially, as a man, just being raped. And it's a horrible, he couldn't deal with it. And she reached out to me, and then I later found out, I was like, I'm never gonna say who. I found out she wrote the cover of this dude's book, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be killed. Like, literally, it freaked me out so bad. So essentially, she was reaching out to me to find out if I was gonna go public with who it was. scared the shit out of me.
Sure.
Okay. But no, he drank because of that.
Right. He was hiding. He probably should have gone and got help. I had seen him on that metal show, and it just seemed like a couple of weeks later, next thing
that
you
was
knew,
right
like
before he died.
Right. It like he was gone. And I just remember being so shocked because he looked good. He looked good. It sounded like, yeah. And you just never know with these things. So I mean, it was devastating. I'm very, very sorry that happened. What was it initially that attracted you to Janie? Because he was a wild. When you first met him, he was a wild man, right? They were on tour, weren't they on tour with Motley Crue?
Right. So, I used to always be on the side stage and go big talker, because he was on stage saying all kind of crazy shit, like, oh yeah, but really he was like a down home dude who had super high morals, who was not sexually deviant. He was a good boy, a good person, very loving. Couldn't, like had a crazy upbringing, in a way. He was like an accident, kind of like his siblings were way older than him, but not an accident, of course, but like, just unexpected birth. But you know what, he was a good guy. Yeah, he was a good guy. He had good intentions. He was dealing with a lot of pain and humiliation, and he just couldn't deal with it. And I never knew, because I literally showed up to his house and went like, you have a family that loves you. You have beautiful children. You have fans galore. What the fuck, right? And then that's when he.
But you were also super young when this was going on too. You were really young.
We were already divorced when this happened, but we always remained friends because we have a child together. Like he literally asked to move in with me when he was trying to divorce his third wife. And I was like, you can't move in with me. That's crazy. In retrospect, I should have looked at that like, he really needs somebody he can trust. But I just thought like, that's so weird. There's just so many things that like, you don't really think about when someone really needs help and they don't know how to ask for it or tell the truth or open themselves to all of the humiliating things that they really need to get out and get help with. And I feel blessed that he felt that I was someone he could do that with. I just felt like I didn't know to the extent of what it was, and I have so much regret for that. But he is loved, he is talented, he's got a beautiful daughter. We have a beautiful daughter. I see her and I see his face every day. No, actually, his second daughter, who is with his second wife, is incredibly talented and sings, and her name is Madison. And many people often think she's my daughter, but she's not. Taylor is ours. Madison is with Rowan Brewer, who hates my guts for whatever reason. I don't care, but I totally support her daughter, and my daughter and her are still in contact and close. But she sings, and actually she's covered a couple of his songs. If you look it up, Madison Lane, and beautiful. Our kids are beautiful. I mean, this has been a really, really, really shitty year, but like, I'm just blessed. I just am. And I try to find that. I mean, I moved to Louisiana and been dodging bullets since I've been here. Like, I got an obsessed, malignant lesbian fan who tried to kill me with a 38. I'm not kidding. Jesus. So I have the FBI going on with, so that's what's been going on since I've been here.
It's never a dull moment with Bobbie Brown.
No, it isn't.
No.
Speak of never a dull moment. What was
one man show right here? One man show at all times.
What was it like with Tommy? Was that purely a physical attraction?
Tommy made me feel like I was the most amazing person in the whole wide world at one point, and then they put you on this pedestal and then they rip you down by your hair, kind of. In a way, it's like, I'm sure he's a much better boyfriend now. He's older and whatever.
Was he a shitty boyfriend?
He wasn't a shitty boyfriend. He was a very controlling boyfriend. Like I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. Like he had to take out my tampons and shit. You know, that kind of stuff.
I like to do that stuff too. So yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
I'm a lot like Tommy Lee in that regard.
I'm more Team Jamie. Team Janie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It was a bit.
Natalie,
too
do
much,
you know these
if you
people
ask
who
me.
we're talking about?
Yes. I'm just like, I'm listening to the story. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I gotta
I
tell
know,
you one
you're
thing.
like, how gross. I know.
I wish
No,
Janie was here. I wish Janie was here because Janie was directly responsible for me getting my only A+ ever in high school.
Really?
Yes, because I was a sophomore in English original oratory class, and I had to write an original story. And I was a slacker, of course, in high school, as most of us were. And I just couldn't think of anything. So the morning of, I write this thing, and then the next day I turn it in, and the next day my teacher, Mr. Kozik, says, I have to tell you something. There was a lot of great stories, but Mr. Morton submitted the best story of all of you. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is not
You're
good.
like me?
I'm like, this is not good. He goes, I'm going to read it to you. And it starts off with, just for the record, let's get the story straight. Me and my Uncle Tom were fishing, and it was getting pretty late. And I just wrote the lyrics to Uncle Tom's Cabin. And as he's reading it, he's reading it, my friend's looking at me like, you son of a bitch.
Plagiarism at its best.
Oh, it was total cheese.
Right there.
Total cheese.
That's amazing. That's
Natalie,
awesome.
you would be impressed by Bobbie's resume of people she's got. Really, I mean, it's all in the books. I'm not talking out of turn here. Okay, we had Tommy Lee, a young, what was he wearing? Barrettes in his hair, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay.
Yeah.
And both supposedly equally as endowed.
Maybe endowed, but just had no clue what to do with it. It's okay.
But come on, man.
No fucking clue.
But is that fair? I mean, Leo he's rich, he's talented, and he's got a big schlong. God's done enough for this guy.
Okay, but he was
somebody
also
else.
like 18. I'd have to, if we're being honest, he was like a newbie. I was like MILF status at that point. Like I had
MILF status. You were 25. You're 25.
I was, but maybe he was like younger. I saw photos of us, and I swear to God, he looks like he's 12, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing right now? And like, really, he was probably way too young. And he did show up with barrettes, and it is whatever. But Natalie, if you want to hear the deets, get my book Dirty Rocker Boys, because I leave nothing out. Well, I leave a lot out, but there's a lot to be said.
Well, I love it. I'm obsessed, and I love hearing your stories, especially hearing them come from you. Like, you're so awesome. Like, regardless, like, it's not like who you've been with, it's who you are, and you're an awesome person. So I'm happy to be present for this conversation.
Thank you. If anything, I'm just honest to a fault, which is also a downfall if you attract obsessed, malignant narcissists, which I happen to do. It sucks.
Yes, you do.
I do. It sucks.
But you know what, Natalie, if you ever seen Natalie naked, and we all have, because like she posts naked pictures of herself all time on Instagram. Okay,
I have not.
Everybody wants to see Natalie. Okay, but she has a lot of tattoos, right? Natalie has a lot, and she could pull it off. She's great. Okay, but Natalie, do you know who Dave Navarro is?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Bobbie knows where I'm going with this. Tell Natalie how you went over his house, how he answered the door.
Naked.
Oh wow, Dave!
Wearing
love Dave.
what? He was wearing one.
Let me give him props. He opened the door. He had on lavender skin tight bell bottom leggings and no shirt with a boa on. And he said, "Hey, hang out. I'm downstairs fucking this starfucker, and we're taking Polaroids. I'll be right back." And he put a movie on of him masturbating. And came upstairs. The girl is actually a friend of mine. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He puts a sticker on her that says Starfucker, pushes her out the front door. Bye. Pushes her out. I'm like, what the fuck? But it's like so crazy that you're all, I have to stay for this, right? So that's you just
you didn't even leave. Like you had to see this through.
Dude.
Of course.
He like literally jumped on the kitchen counter, wrapped his arm with a fucking can opener cord and shot up. And I was like, oh my God, he's so cool. Like, what is wrong with me? Right. But like, who does that? I love Dave to this day. He's probably the smartest, wittiest. I spent a summer with him. We never fucked because he was a needle user, obviously. But we hung out for a summer and like best summer, one of the best summers ever. Just so crazy.
Still friends to this day?
We don't like chit chat, but when we see each other, we're like, what's up? We hug. And when I wrote the book, I said, you're going to be in the book. He's like, you can even lie about me. I don't even care. Say whatever you want. I'm like, I love you so much. One time he showed up at my house with a puppet and stood outside my brother's window and knocked on his window. My brother's like super straight laced, like Norm guy, knocked, and the puppet was there. And my brother's like, what the fuck? My weenie dog squoze out of the fucking mattress and was like, what the fuck? He came over and my daughter goes, you look like Dad Tommy and you smell like booze, and walked away from him. And he went, I love her. I know.
Fucking
Good
great.
times. I have so many stories, but anyway, another time. But
you said he was funny, but you also said Mark McGrath is so funny, and this could offend Natalie and Sean, that he's so funny that Mark McGrath could be a comedian.
Mark McGrath literally
he
would
can't
make
be
me
that
shit
funny.
out. He would
He's
make
that
me
funny?
shit out. He is that fucking funny.
I can
He
see
really
that.
and truly is.
I can see that. He's got a good personality.
He's a good-looking guy. He has talent, but come on, he can also have comedy chops too.
Dude, he was
never know.
so fucking funny.
That's
This guy,
not fair.
he's very funny.
It's not fair. Look
His
at John
wife
Mayer. John
hates
Mayer,
me.
one of the greatest guitar players on the planet. You know,
Is he funny?
and he does stand up.
Yes,
Yeah.
it sucks.
John
Jeff,
Mayer does stand up.
Yeah, Jeff, did I ever tell you the story when they were down by the Cellar? Now, the Cellar is a huge comedy club in the city, Bobbie.
Yes.
And outside the Cellar, outside the Cellar was Chris
John
Rock,
Mayer. Wow.
Chris Rock, Dave Attell, right?
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, and I believe it was like another comic, and they were all hanging outside, and they go, "Why aren't you guys on stage?" And they said John Mayer bumped us.
Get the
We're
fuck
all going to perform, and they bumped everybody
Get
for
the
John
fuck
Mayer.
out.
Yep.
Do you know who what is this fucking guy's name? Who's the guy that was the Entourage dude?
Oh, Jeremy
Who's now
Piven.
Jeremy
Thank you.
Piven. Yeah.
Okay, I was headlining, at the Comedy Store, and
You're doing
Piven-
stand-up too?
I do stand-up, yes.
I did not know that.
Jeff,
didn't
you
know
didn't do your research before the podcast?
He never does,
Girl.
Natalie.
Look how many fucking facts I've dropped. This is what you dump on
You
me, Natalie?
read half of one book.
That's right. Thank you, Nell. Yes.
I'm from
exactly.
Staten Island. You expect me to read the whole book?
No, go on Wikipedia. I don't know.
Oh, thank you. Go to @BrownBobbie on Instagram and you can watch some of my stand-up. Word. Anyway, Jeremy Piven, my second book was coming out, and he said he wanted to headline. He made his entire stand-up about insulting me in the front row.
I'm gonna defend you right now, Bobbie, because I had to open for him, and he's a cunt.
He's a cunt.
Yes, he's
a
a raging
fucking
cunt.
cunt.
He came up to me. Now, mind you,
He's a
I'm not a
cunt.
celebrity, but I do
Okay.
headline all across the country when I want to.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Can you do 10 minutes?" And I go,
Girl, can you suck my dick?
"I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try."
Yeah.
So of course I did my time. He goes up and he
Right.
was kind of shitty. And
He's
then
shitty.
the next night he says to me, "Hey, do you mind like doing less time? Because I'm good. Oh, do you mind doing more time? Because I want to do less time because I want to get out of here." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So I go up and do like 20. Crowd's really great. It's a small little
Right.
club. It's awesome. I can't find this guy anywhere. He's locked in the manager's office, fucking this girl that he met upstairs.
Okay, first of all, he sprays on his hair. Some of his hair fell out in my friend's drink. No shit.
Ugh. And then he's supposed to do,
No
he
shit.
charges this exorbitant amount of money to do a meet
He
and
does.
greet with individual
does.
people. And then he decided, guys, I gave all myself on stage. Can we just do group shots? And he wouldn't do anything less than like 8 people
Oh.
instead of
Dude.
doing individual people.
He is such a piece of shit. He does his whole set. I'm sitting in the front row because my book just came out. I'm headlining. It's my party. He comes out and he starts talking about, and he's doing the hand motion around my face like this. Like, you can't even tell what girls look like anymore because of all the Botox and filler and all this shit. And I was all, there's nobody else in this zone. Is he like fucking talking to me, you know? And he was. And so then, of course, I have to get up and razz him after he does his set. But I'm thinking to myself, fuck you, dude. You called to be on this. Line up with me. And now you're going to fucking shit talk me? Go fuck yourself. So I had to, you'll see it. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see it. But yeah, he's a dick.
Nat, has anything like that ever happened to you where you've been in the audience and a comic has kind of gone after you a little bit?
Yeah, maybe not in the audience. Maybe after I got off stage, someone says something shitty, like in response to my set.
So how do you guys kind of deal with that? You know, it's like, you know, if you say something, you're a bitch. If you don't say anything, then you're an easy mark and people keep doing it. So how do you guys have to deal with that? I mean, it's something that male comics don't have to deal with nearly as much as women comics do.
I feel like I just don't give it energy. I mean, it's just annoying. It's like, okay, whatever. I really don't care. Say whatever the fuck you want at this point.
At some point, you have to stand up for yourself, though.
I would prove wrong. You just prove them wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm good. Fuck you. Yeah.
Do you ever catch anybody doing your material on the same show that you're on?
No. I do a lot of razzes about dating and men, so guys don't really have the same experiences I have had dating, so I don't find that. How about you, Natalie?
I don't. I mean, there's one person that I feel like, I don't know if she realizes has completely stolen my opener and uses the same thing, and I don't know how to say this to her, and she does it on shows with me, so I don't know if I'm like, does she not? I don't know if she realizes it, but
malignant stalker. She's stalking you. Of course she has to. How could she not?
Yeah.
That's
so
weird.
It's a weird dynamic because you see somebody doing your material and so like you get pissed off, but then you say to yourself, somebody thought it was that good enough to steal.
Right. At least do it in a different setting. At least you guys aren't in the same lineup. Like, seriously? That's weird.
Yeah.
I usually think like, okay, if someone's stealing my material, like I'm going to be more successful than them. So whatever.
Like, true. A lot of comics say that. Natalie is someone who I absolutely believe that she is going to, really the stars the limit for her. Listen, Natalie, I did my research about you, okay, you little bitch. I fucking did. Okay? And the thing is, I mean, I know Natalie, you know, we're on a lot of the shows and stuff together, and I'm always very impressed because she works hard. She's cool as hell. She's nice to everybody. But I didn't realize that, you know, because she doesn't brag. She graduated from the Stellar Adler acting studio, took classes at Lee Strasberg. I mean, Natalie puts in the work.
And Jeff graduated from the Stuttering Mumbling Prick University too.
Well, you know what? The thing is, I never really knew this about Natalie. What I always liked about her was, again, her work ethic. She'll host the show.
She's a quadruple threat times 12.
But she does it, and like a cool together person, she handles it, and carries herself so well for someone who's as young as she is. I'm very, very impressed with her. And on top of that, she starts a magazine, Classy Trashy
How old
magazine.
Are you? I'm sorry, I know if that's a rude question. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, see, you're a queen. I'm 53.
Really? You look a lot younger.
You have a daughter. I have a daughter that's older than you.
Bobbie, I didn't want to. I thought it was rude to ask you how old you are, so I was just going to ask you how much you weigh. That's all I was going to go with.
How much I weigh? Oh my God, girl, I'm so fat right now. I've gained so much weight. Like, I'm 9 pounds. I'm too fat right now for myself.
You don't have to. I'm only joking. You don't have to answer that.
Oh no, my stepdad tells me every day, "Oh, you're gaining that weight again." I'm like, "Thanks for noticing, dude." Yeah.
Well, just lay off the crystal meth.
Oh, I haven't done that shit in a while. That's probably why I'm so fat.
I was praying to God Jeff wasn't going to say lay off the cherry pie. I would have fucking punched him right through the goddamn fucking computer. No. I swear to Christ.
Come on, Natalie, am I hacky? I'm not
No,
hacky.
you're fantastic.
You are fantastic. Hey, I
Jeff,
wrote a
I have to-
best-selling book about being a meth addict. It's okay.
I have to
No,
tell
I
you,
know
Jeff,
that. I know that.
I was doing a show in Costco with Kevin Dombrowski a week ago. Oh, I think I might have said this in the Zoom. We spent a good 20 minutes driving back to Jersey talking about how much we love you.
Really?
Yeah, we did. Did I tell you this already?
No.
Oh,
No, nobody
we
ever tells
did.
me anything good about
We
me.
did. We did spend a significant amount of time. We're like, Jeff Paul, he's a good guy. Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Okay.
nice. And I love Mike too. He sends me pictures of his niece and stuff. I'm like, I don't even know you, but she's cute.
Oh, Mike's a
nice.
piece of shit. What are you talking
Is
about?
he?
No,
Oh my God, he's so nice.
He's awesome. Mike.
Natalie,
Mike
I
is a
just
great
met
dude.
you for the first time and you completely ruined my weekend. I want you to
You're welcome. I tend to do that.
Well, Natalie, I love you so far.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to check you out online.
yes. Yes.
Natalie, let's talk music real quick. What is your favorite band that you want to talk about? If you have one.
Sonic Youth is my favorite band of all time.
Sonic Youth.
Mm-hmm.
Were you even born when Goo came out?
I know.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly. I never would have expected. I was expecting Mumford and Sons.
Oh, get out of here. Mumford and Sons. No.
I don't even know who that is.
They
you don't wanna know.
Bobby. Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. That
Are they?
Oh my God. Yeah. They're such like hipster douchey. They stink. They
You know who
stink.
I love my obsessed all-time band ever that I just get like super creepy about.
Yeah, I
Incubus.
know exactly who.
Incubus.
That's right. I was gonna say Incubus.
Yeah.
Such a great band.
Oh my God, if you see them live, you'll be like, okay, I fucking get it.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them from
You and
like,
John Kirscher.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen them from like even before like when Science came out.
Honestly, like every single, like so talented. You see them live, you're like, okay, I'm a sick fan now. And you get it. It's like he's nerdy, cool, but so artistic, and it's an amazing show. It really is.
they're
great.
cool.
I've seen them play with the Deftones a bunch of times. And
seen them with
I
Korn.
love the guys from the Deftones. I wrote poetry with the singer of the Deftones one night.
Did you really?
Like,
That's
what a
super
weirdo.
cool.
That was back in my meth days, though. Have to be honest.
So other than
It was.
Sonic Youth, who else do you
Mhm.
like?
I like Fleetwood Mac.
Thank you. Jeff hates Fleetwood Mac, by the way.
Hate him.
Why?
We
Because I
do you
think-
know Lynette Palladino, Natalie?
I do know her. Yeah.
She was our guest on a show about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and she's a Fleetwood Mac fanatic.
Uh-huh.
And Jeff basically shit on her for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Well,
I hate Fleetwood Mac.
I mean,
completely overrated.
okay. Well, we can move on to another artist.
No, you can battle Jeff and tell him why they are not overrated, because Jeff is a piece of shit who doesn't appreciate good music.
Do you guys
I
want to say
mean-
hi to my mom?
Yes.
Why? Okay, never mind. She's gonna shoot me with a pellet gun. Never mind.
Okay, so you'll have matching scars then. Okay,
You definitely are in Louisiana.
Yeah, I know. It goes with the dent in my head from falling down the stairs,
Right.
and not from falling between my bed last night. I know.
You know, I always
I don't
liked
know who
I always liked Bobbie Brown, but I didn't realize how fucking cool Bobbie Brown is. Like you are like real real
She's a fucking nerd. She's
No,
a
she-
nerd. It's hysterical.
No,
I
she's
love
not.
it.
She's
I'm a fucking cool
authentic.
nerd.
There's nothing fake about her. Fuck Jeremy Piven.
Well,
now.
no. There's something
nothing
fake about her. Let's not go crazy here. There is definitely something
Talking
fake.
about
Oh,
those guys, maybe.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay, that's the only thing fake about me. But if anything, I'm
Mine
honest
too.
to a
Mine
fault.
too. So don't worry about it.
your
No, mine are
tits, that's a
natural.
good
Mine are
one.
natural.
Yeah, I know, Sean.
So jealous of the natural.
Yes.
I got a full B. They're a little hairy. I am half Italian.
A
But
full
anyway,
B.
Yeah. Sean's goal is to try and get down to an A cup. That's where he wants to be. That's where
Wow.
Hey,
Well,
at
I-
35, they're
spent my
still
time
perky.
trying to grow a
Okay?
dick over here. So
Nat, tell us a little bit about Classy Trashy Magazine. What inspired you to do that?
It's a motorcycle magazine. It started out as just like things that I like. I interviewed people and I made a magazine. So it had like
Do you ride? You ride yourself?
I do. I actually just sold my bike yesterday, but I do ride. It's okay. I had an 85 Ironhead. I sold it yesterday. Feels good to just have some cash right now. But Yeah. So it's I don't know. It was about a bunch of other stuff, but I feel like I drew a motorcycle crowd and I started focusing on motorcycles and vintage bikes in particular. And yeah, that's what it's about.
I am
That's
too chicken
awesome.
shit. I'm too chicken shit to ride a bike.
Me too.
Can't do it.
But you did a great job marketing it on your own. You know,
Thank you.
I think you modeled. Was it your boyfriend that did the photography and everything?
Well, okay, we broke up. But yeah. Yes, we did. Yes, it was a collaboration.
And how can people get this magazine? And is it digital, or do you also have actually a hard copy?
So it's digital, it's a hard copy. It's kind of on pause right now. The Classy Trashy magazine, I will say, I don't know. So I did just go to Texas to do another motorcycle magazine. It's called Stag. And it's really awesome. So it just came out 2 days ago, and that I really want people to purchase. I'm on the cover of it, and there's like a big spread, and it's really cool. And there are also banners and posters. And it's
Tell people how they can purchase this magazine.
you can go to thestagmag.com, and it's just like it's all photography. It's a beautiful magazine. And if you like beautiful things, you'll most certainly like it.
Well, if you need a model, call me.
Yes.
Bobbie, besides rock videos and everything, what else did you model? What else were you involved in?
Commercials. I had my own TV series called Ex-Wives of Rock. Yeah,
that's right.
I have another one coming out soon called Rock in a Hard Place, and magazine covers, TV shows, commercials. What? And being a mom's like, you're a stand-up comedian. They didn't even know that. So you have to go to @BrownBobbie and watch some of my clips and then tell me what you think.
Absolutely. How long have you been doing stand-up?
I did it for 2 years, and immediately I opened for Jamie Kennedy like 3 times, and I started headlining the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store, and the Dojo. And then I moved here. Yeah, I moved here during COVID and got a stalker. So word up.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Fucking lame. Restraining orders, the whole 9.
Do you ever get out to New York?
Destroy her gun, the whole shit, the whole thing. She compromised 40 of my accounts.
Bobbie, do you ever get out to New York?
I have gotten out to New York numerous times. I don't go there on the reg, but why?
No, I was saying when you come out here, Natalie, myself, Sean, I mean, we all know people. Natalie produces shows. We'd love to have you on.
I would love to come out. I am totally available. I'm super vaccinated and happy. I'm about to go do some stand-up in Nashville I used to have my own podcast, but then the stalker took that. I just literally from the FBI got all my accounts back. Like, what was it, a week and a half ago, Mom? It's been 6 months. It's been crazy. Like, she was showing up at my house, like with a 38 loaded weapon, saying that she was going to be Mrs. Bobbie Brown or else. I have never experienced anything so scary in my whole fucking life, but
is she in police custody? Like, what is the situation?
Like, I guess in Louisiana, it's cool to like carry your own weapon, but they found out that her weapon was stolen.
Okay.
And they destroyed it. I have a restraining order. I just had to, but the money it's cost me to get like security cam, alarm systems, pay a hacker to get 40 of my accounts back. And just that she would be like in my condo area, just like hanging out 300 yards away, not 100 yards, just shit like that. Like, I went from being a mess to being triggered to being angry to being like, what the fuck? Like, there was a point where I was all, she can be me. It's fine. I'll go off the grid, gain 60 pounds, move to Idaho and disappear. Like, it was a lot. Like, it's been like 6 months of just bullshit. I came here to be with my family and be closer to God, and during COVID, and I got a stalker. So what the fuck? Great. I have a lot of new comedy, have a lot of new stand-up material, but just need to be able to stand up. So
did the police confiscate her Subaru?
Her Subaru?
Yeah.
No, they confiscated her gun and destroyed it. The head of the TSO called me when they did it. That was Christmas Day. That was like a good Christmas gift.
What does she want from you? I don't understand. Like, what is she?
To be my wife. She was a lesbian who said it was her dream to be Mrs. Bobbie Brown. She wanted to be my lover. She said all of her exes were straight and blonde too. And I was like, this is how many fucks I give? What the fuck? Like, I couldn't even wrap my head around it, guys. Like, cause I'm not against gay people. I have gay relatives. I have gay friends, but like, I'm never putting the vibe off. I'm never leading anybody on. I'm never being like, yeah, and she just wasn't hearing it. So it was like a Selena situation. She showed up at my house at 3 a.m., demanded to come in, and she had a weapon. It was fucking crazy.
What did she look like?
What does she look like, Mom? Well, now she has a dog like mine, blue contacts, and has bleached her hair. Blonde.
She's looking like you?
Huh?
She's looking like you?
Trying to. I mean,
what was that movie?
Single white female. Yeah.
Single white female, 3 in the making over here.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's been fucking weird. I'm always looking over my shoulder. I'm feeling very violated at all times. I'm on alert. Cleaned out all my accounts, was putting my photos on dildos for fucking sale online.
Shit.
It's been fucking traumatizing, but I have a loving, supportive family. Just trying to get through it. But yeah, it's been like book 3 is writing itself. Let's just say that.
It's crazy that one person can do so much damage. It sucks.
She's not even done. Like, I've dealt with these kind of fucking weirdos along the ride, but nobody this intelligent or IT savvy. So like,
that's the scary thing, right?
Yeah,
that's how much they can get to your personal information. Absolutely. Nat, have you ever had deal with a stalker or anything like that?
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
No.
Fucking
yeah. No, do knock on wood. She had like video on my TV.
How?
Like, she was like
you would turn on your TV and she would be able to tap into your TV
and watch you?
Android TV, yeah.
Wow.
All you need is the IP address. All these things I came to learn later, obviously, because I would never fucking know, but I'm like, why does the red light keep going on by itself in the middle of the night? And the TV's not even on. And that's what it was. So yeah, go me. But it's okay. I'm powering through it. And they destroyed her weapon, and I have a restraining order, but that's what happened when I came here.
I don't understand how like she's not in police custody and how all of this can be like on record.
You got to prove it. You got to prove this.
That's the thing. It's the proof, and it's so hard to prove because if you're IT savvy, you know how to hide your IP address. So then that's the link.
Never use the same one.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Absolutely.
IP savvy enough to know when I had my show Ex-Wife of Rock, it was in Canada, and I would hide my IP and click on and say I was in Canada and watch the show, and everybody's like, how the fuck you know how to do that? You're so smart. Well, if somebody's trying to do it for like negative reasons, detrimental reasons, horrible reasons, they know what the fuck to do. They know how to do that shit and get around it. So it's been the proving that's been the hardest part.
Are the courts open in Louisiana?
Are the what courts open?
The courts.
Yeah, so I have a restraining order. They destroyed her weapon. However, she's not in custody because the FBI is still going through the forensics on my USB drive of all the logs. But I mean, so far they can't find anything because if and I don't doubt that I'm not the first person she's done this to or will be the last. I'm sure there's other women that corroborate this story, but she's very IT savvy, and that's the hardest part is proving it. So
absolutely.
I'm so sorry that's happening to you. That's so horrible. That really sucks.
It's been pretty shitty. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank God for my family, because there was points in my life where I was like, fuck it, she can be me. I don't even care. But I just got my accounts back, like finally. Like I have a celebrity verified Instagram account I got back a week ago. It's been since last August. So I know. And selling of the dildo, she stole my merch. She opened 4 businesses in my account.
How much money has this cost you?
You have every dime I've ever made. And my parents as well. Thank God my parents are like, fuck this bitch. I'm gonna be the first person to visit her in jail. I mean,
I'm just gonna say that you're very lucky to have the support system that you have. It seems like your stepfather's a good guy. Your mother seems really cool. You know, I'm very happy for you in that regard.
And my daughter too. She'll clap back at any motherfucker in a heartbeat. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a struggle, I have to say, but I have good things on the horizon. Great things are happening. I have a new show coming. Like I said, book 3 is writing itself. And I have you guys who are still interested in even talking to me. And I have my stand-up that I have lots of new material with.
Do you do any Zoom shows?
I don't. Honestly, like I said, I just was able to get back into all of my devices. The FBI had all my devices until last week. And that's
Natalie and I know this guy, Ride Daddy, who puts on Zoom shows.
Really?
Yeah. We would love to have you on
reach out to me. Show. I mean, honestly,
Zoom comedy is the worst fucking thing in the world.
It kind of is. Like I had my comedy agent ask me to do a show, and I was like, this kind of fucking sucks. Like I did one show and I didn't like it. It's not the same as being in front of a crowd doing your shit.
No, not at all.
It's not even close. It's like not even worth it.
It's good for working out new material though.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
But anyway, this is the new, I guess. This is the new norm.
Everybody's like, opening up. Things are opening up now, finally, which is a good
right.
Thank God.
Yeah, comedy clubs is finally starting to open up.
In
a couple of weeks here in New York, in New Jersey, they're already open. There's plenty of outdoor shows, and really, by the time we get into the summertime, things are going to be open up. I'm gonna message you privately, Bobbie, and try and get you on something here in.
That would be great,
Jersey.
Natalie. And I should do something.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I know for a fact. I know for a fact that Laugh It Up Comedy Club in Poughkeepsie, New York, is opening up. Because I'm headlining there July 4th weekend. So
that's amazing.
That's definitely.
Hit me up. I'm so down. Like this is the first time I'm even able to talk to anybody as my actual self. So I'm so down.
Yeah, and Bobbie, I have a weekly show in Brooklyn on Saturdays. If you ever are in New York, I'll find you on Instagram and message me. I would love to have you, and anytime you want to do it.
Love that. So nice to meet you. So I'm
you too.
at Brown Bobbie, and it's actually me finally. And I would love to. And you're beautiful. And thank you guys so much for having me today.
It's a pleasure. Bobbie, is it cool if I give Natalie your number so she can text you so it's easier?
Absolutely. Of course.
Okay.
Aww.
Of course.
So sweet.
You're welcome.
Well,
good luck with everything.
Guys, this hour went by super quick.
I agree. It was a fun interview.
It was really,
it wasn't even an interview. It was just 4 people bullshitting today. We asked very few questions and just had amazing banter.
We asked one music question. Music question.
Yeah. But who's your band? Go figure.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you think a music show would talk a little bit more about music, but this was fine, man. You know, both of you guys, you both have in common, besides the physical beauty, I think it's the inner beauty, the work ethic the two of you guys have. And, I really appreciate you guys taking, an hour out of your day and really like spending it with us. So thank you so much.
Yes, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, this was great. Thank you.
All right. Well,
you guys have social media plugs? Get them out now.
I know. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Bobbie.
Bye.
That wraps up another edition of Who's Your Band. We'll be back next week with another great edition. Sean, congratulations on your dogs. Natalie, congratulations on your breakup or whatever. And you know what? Pretty soon I'll be seeing you like all over live again. So that's gonna be fun.
Yes.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Bobbie.